All right, guys, I got my cousin Grant in the chair. We're gonna do a little video, guys. I'm gonna show you two techniques today. I'm gonna show you what I call clipper over finger. He has such curly hair, it's very difficult for me to cut with the scissors. I'll show you guys when we get to it. He also has a crazy growth pattern on his neck. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a taper into a crazy growth pattern and deal with all the swirls and all the craziness. So we'll start on top and then we'll get to the taper next. All right, guys, so check it out. You can see he obviously has pretty super curly hair. I'm gonna stand out of the way so you guys can see before I start cutting it. But basically, guys, when you have this much curl, when I pull this up, he wants quite a bit off. But you guys can see it's wrapping around my fingers this way, it's wrapping around that way. Very difficult to come in with my scissors. It can be done, come through and cut, but you're gonna see some of those hairs that wrapped around are still not cut. And so one of the techniques I use when I am cutting curls like this, just to make it more consistent, make it a little easier on myself, is I'm gonna do what I guess would be called clipper over finger. Basically, we're gonna cut exactly the same way we would with our scissors. We're gonna take our clipper, hold it like this, so we have full control over the clipper. We're gonna take our comb, put it in backwards like that, so it's like a dual-wield lightsaber, something like that. Now, guys, I can grab his hair, pull it up, same technique I would use with my scissors, and we're gonna use the clipper to cut it off. So close clipper, go ahead and kick it on, tilt his head back a little bit, grab this front section, I'm gonna pull it up. We're gonna cut it pretty short, so there, I'll just pull it up, just like normal, guys, take my clipper, and boom, cut a straight line in. So no different than cutting with shears. I'm gonna use my muscle memory to pull the hair up the same length. And basically, guys, I have my pinky finger and my ring finger down here. So I know when I grab it, when I pull it up, I have a grip right here that tells me that I'm the same length off the head. Especially right now, just getting some length off. We're just gonna kind of get it going. Then we'll come in and touch everything up and make sure that it's all consistent. But you guys see, super quick, super easy. It is getting all the hair that wants to wrap around my fingers. Super easy grip. It's gonna feel a little weird for you guys at first. Now, just like normal, pull it up. There's the guy in the middle that we cut. Cut the section. Pull it up again. Cut the section. Clipper never goes off. You see I'm slicing my glove, but that's okay. Now we just follow the guide all over. We'll treat it exactly like we would with scissors, except we have basically an easier technique that is gonna get those hairs that wrap around my fingers. So I could do it with scissors. It's gonna cause some inconsistencies. Maybe I'm gonna cut myself. So that is why I choose to do this with textures like this. It's gonna make it a little bit easier.
Great, doing it. Yes, sir.
Busy shop, guys. I try to do these. I hope you guys like the live voiceovers better. I think that I can explain things a lot better. I do get a comment every now and then that the shop noise is kind of crazy. From my understanding, and at least for me listening back while I edit, pretty much while I'm talking, it does a pretty good job of kind of finding my voice and not picking up the rest of the shop. But definitely if I stop talking, it kind of picks up the rest of the shop and gets a little loud. So if that's a problem for you guys, I apologize. I personally believe, as the person making the content, that I am able to teach a whole lot better doing these live voiceovers. And I'm gonna keep doing it this way. I have got a lot of great feedback on it, that just doing it live, I can just elaborate so much better. I can point at things, I can show you guys things. And any of you guys that have been watching me for a long time, leave me a comment down below. But I noticed that, at least from my point of view, it felt like every voiceover I more or less was just saying the same thing. So this kind of allows for a more unique voiceover. Obviously, in the shop, live on the spot, I can point at things, I can show you guys things, and I think it's better. So you guys let me know, especially if you've been watching for a while, if you guys like these live voiceovers better. Now, guys, I'm just gonna cross-check just like normal. So I'm taking vertical sections. We're just cutting the peaks off. So no different. Clipper's still running, clipper closed. Make a couple passes through. We'll clean up this fringe from the front. You guys can see it's kind of curling up. But you guys can see, super easy. You can use this technique really on, you can do it on totally straight hair. Obviously, we would call him straight hair, but obviously he has some curl, so I didn't get none of that curl. But anyway, guys, we're going to move on to the back taper. The same curl that's so good on top of his head that gives him this nice texture causes some issues in the back of the taper. So I want to show you guys kind of how crazy his neck looks. and how to tackle that. All right, guys, check out this neck pattern. So we've talked about neck growth patterns before. First thing you guys notice is this M shape. You guys have heard me talk about it before. So not only do we have the M shape that we want to look out for, so we're obviously going to start our bald line above this light spot. So that's where I'm looking. But on top of that, we have the craziest swirl growth pattern over here. You see, I'm going to keep trying to brush it down and make it lay better. It kind of grows in. Over here it swirls. And on the other side, it's a little bit straighter on the other side. So as I teach you guys a lot, I'm going to cut off as much of the problem as I can without going above the bottom of the ear. So if we look at the bottom of the ear, we can basically cut it to here. That is going to cut off all of our problem area that we talked about and make it a lot easier. So I'm just kind of looking at that. I want to give myself a consistent part all the way across. So I'm just going to start in the light spot. So we're going to start right there. I'm going to punch it in with my Slimlines. You guys know that's how I usually do it. And when we're dealing with these growth patterns, guys, we have to cut against the direction of the hair. So you'll see as I bald him out that the hair that grows up, I'm going to have to come here and cut it down. If it grows to the side, I got to come this way. And you guys just need to pay attention to that. You'll notice if you're balding somebody out and they have some hair going in different directions, you guys will notice that it's all getting bald except for maybe, say, the hairs that are growing to the left. So then you'll have to turn your trimmer and go this way. So this side's bald. Now we'll work back over this way. The middle is pretty straightforward. It pretty much grows straight down. And now I did work my way down a little bit on this side, so I'm gonna put this bald line in and make sure it's clean. And again, guys, we're cutting off most of the problem areas. So let's look at this, guys. So the hair is growing this way. And so if I just cut it with the grain, it actually did decent that time, but we're gonna get shorter, especially with the shaver. We're gonna have to go against the growth pattern of the hair. So now we'll come in with the shaver, guys. No different than normal. We'll work the shaver right underneath. Right here, it started to grow up, so I'm actually coming down. You guys can hear it crunching. In the middle, it's pretty straightforward, just going from kind of growing straight down. Easy growth pattern there. And then this side is pretty straightforward, guys. It is normal. So we balded out the bottom. Now I flip my shaver, tap on the bald line, and make sure that everything ties together before we do our next step. Now, guys, we're not going to treat it any different than a normal taper, besides that we have to pay so much attention to the growth pattern. So we did start it a little bit high, so I am going to keep my sections a little more compact. I apologize, you can't see this side of the head, guys. It's going to operate the same. This is actually the straighter side, but this is going to be our problem, so I'll make sure that you guys can see it. But we're going to compact our sections just a little bit more because of starting so high to eliminate all these problems. I'm scooping up with the open clipper. If you pay attention, we can really see this hair is growing sideways, kind of looping around over here. And so when I go up, it doesn't get it consistent. I need to go against it. So I'm totally turning my clipper. Now, our steps and where we're at in the section is not gonna change. We're gonna do it exactly the same. We're just making sure that we're going against the growth pattern. So again, guys, now I'm turning it upside down because some of those hairs were going up. And once we have a nice consistent panel, then we can start to fade the line out. No different than the normal steps. We're just paying attention to that growth pattern. And that's how we're gonna have to work at it because of all the crazy direction. Now again, guys, the bottom of the section, I can see it all. It's going that way. So I'm gonna come in with the corner and I'm just gonna scoop against the direction of the growth. So no different, we're just bumping the bottom of the line out. Just gonna focus on this side for you guys. Now I'll just flip him and do the other side on camera in a little time lapse, but now we open it up more or less, second notch, guys, same thing. I'm still looking at the growth pattern. You see it is going to the left of the screen. So it's coming out. Now I'm gonna go to the third notch, same thing. Going against the growth pattern. And the growth pattern is going to change, guys. So like as we get to the top of the section, it may straighten out. You guys just want to pay attention to it. I can see this over here is just insane. So but you guys see, we got that open section together. Now we can move on to the one. Next thing, guys, open one. Same thing, right? Let's watch what it does. See, that hair's going around. It is not getting cut. We're looking for that consistency. So if it's not there, we're going to adjust. So I'm going to go against it. Totally cutting towards the right of his head. And you guys see, the more I pay attention to that and see what direction it's growing, the more consistent it gets. If you guys can't really tell, just go every direction. Just don't go outside of your section. And now we'll connect everything above. So you guys know I go to a closed two. We're gonna start to connect. It's already a closed two, so it should be good. We're just making sure that it's a closed two before we try to fade into it. Because if we think it's a closed two and it's not, then again, we're gonna have issues. So now I know it's a closed two. I'm gonna go straight to a 1.5 halfway open. We're trying to take this last line out right here. Going up, again, I know I've said it 17 times, but that is the moral of this story or the point of this video. We've got to cut against the growth pattern. So even crazier over here. Just make sure you guys are going against it. You see now I go this way a little bit, making sure it's consistent, and then we will work our way back down and take this last line out. So super difficult though, guys. Definitely if you're new to the game and you get somebody like this that walks in. I've been cutting his hair a lot of years, so he actually was just telling me his brother, so my other cousin, is starting barber school, and asked him when he could start cutting his hair, and he told him as soon as he comes and hangs with me and learns how I do it. So he doesn't get a crazy haircut, but he does have some crazy texture. It just makes it a little bit more difficult for you if you're, newer to this. So that's the 1.5, guys, that did not get the line all the way out. We're going back to the open one, making sure that we tie all that together. It's not gonna need a lot. We're just using the corner. I'm also staying out of the camera, guys, so I may have to detail this. I can't really see it. It's obviously on the side of his head. I think it's looking okay. We're just kind of working our way back down now. Now we can work on this last line at the bottom. So I'm gonna close it up. Again, I know I gotta go against the pattern, right? We've been through this section enough. I know I gotta cut from left to right to get that section. Same thing over here, same thing, guys. So just pay attention to that. You can see now it's coming along okay. Just like any other time, guys, feel free to open and close your lever as needed. Just pay attention to where you're at. You guys know my system. Now we are done with the closed one. Last but not least, we will use the half guard, halfway open. So this last line with the half guard is gonna be a little bit tricky. So again, guys, we're only using the corner of the clipper. We're going against the grain. And boom, you see just really a couple of licks right there, and it looks pretty good. It's not perfect. We got him together pretty well. I'm gonna do the other side and then line up his neck, and we can do some detail if needed. But I just wanted to show you guys really how to go after these growth patterns, feel comfortable doing it. Everybody's is different, so it's really no different than say you're cutting somebody with waves and you have to attack different parts of the crown a little bit differently. You guys just pay attention to the growth pattern and tackle it accordingly. All right, guys, that is it for the video. I hope you guys gained something from it. If you did, let me know down below. I know this man gained something from it. He was looking crazy. Looked like he didn't have a cousin that was a barber, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, smash that thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm heading to Tampa next week for another Josh LP class, and I'll be vlogging the whole thing. So if you guys like that kind of stuff, definitely stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, catch you next time.